What's the catchphrase? Welcome to Self-Center Volkswagen, Calgary's self-exclusive. I can't even do our catchphrase right. Well, Volkswagen's done it again. They made the best hot hatch on the market even better with the new Mark 8 generation of the Golf GTI. We've got a Mark 7.5 here, and I just want to show you some of the differences between the two models. Sharing the same engine as the predecessor, the EA 888, they've now cranked up the boost by a little over 4 pounds. It gains an additional 13 horsepower and 15 pound-feet of torque, bumping the net figures up to 241 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. This guy will really get you moving in a hurry. Holding all that power down, you still have the same 2 transmission options as you had before. You have our quick-acting 7-speed DSG dual-clutch automatic, but don't worry, Volkswagen has not left the enthusiast behind. You can still row your own gears with a 6-speed manual transmission. Attached to both those transmissions, you get the Volkswagen VAQ locking front differential, which will use torque vectoring to pull you around a corner. It puts the power down effectively in slippery conditions, and honestly, it just corners like it's on rails. So they've even tweaked the suspension in the new GTI. They've increased the spring rates to be a little bit stiffer, and they've also upgraded the active dampening within the car. So now there's a lot more customization within the active dampening, and the dampeners are now talking with the differential, the throttle mapping, all that sort of stuff is communicating, really giving you, a pinpoint driving feel. Touching on some of the differences on the front end of this vehicle. So they still retained the classic GTI honeycomb grille, but they've added a really cool element to it in the new GTI. The fog lights are actually built into the grille itself, retaining that honeycomb look, and it's my favorite new design element of the GTI. Also carrying forward, they keep the LED daytime running lights, but with the new style headlight, they actually bring it throughout the headlight and then throughout the light bar in the grille itself here. So when you're driving at night, you have a very, very dynamic profile in the front end. So the changes that we see in the front end, guys, we also see in the back end of the car. So the previous generation, the glass was a little bit more vertical, but they've given it a little bit more of a angled approach here with a larger wing on the back. LED taillights to match it all, and then the lower valence is a little bit more aggressive as well, and it retains that aggressive dual exhaust the GTI is known for. The GTI now has available power memory seating. It's got the standard Volkswagen digital cockpit, and they went from an 8.5-inch touchscreen in the previous to a large 10-inch touchscreen in the new one. Honestly, the screen is super fluid. It's got all the features you want to have. Now has wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a wireless phone charging pad down there as well. So all of that infotainment, connectivity, and technology, it's got it all. They've upped the ante on the creature comforts as well. We now have available heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated front seats, as well as a 3-zone climate control system. They've changed the seats as well. They've always been super comfortable seats, great bolstering to hold you in the corners when you're driving a little bit spirited, but now they've moved on to these awesome one-piece design seats, and these are probably some of my favorite changes with the car. They're all a one-piece design with the headrest built into the back of the seat. This one here is a performance package GTI, so it is standard with the leather seating, though you can still option for the cloth. But let me show you a few things on this seat here. We've got a black insert in the middle, gray around the headrest and the bolstering, and then the red piping and stitching ties it into all the other red interior and exterior elements. And these seats really do look great, and as good as they look, they're even more comfortable. A car that's this fun to drive should also be safe to drive as well. That's why we have a full suite of driver's assistance systems in here. We have blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, forward collision mitigation. A really cool one we have as well is the dynamic road sign display, which will show the most recent speed, construction, playground zone side. It'll display it in your digital cockpit, but it'll also display it in this really cool new area, the heads-up display, where it'll show, you know, your digital speedometer, your assistance systems, monitoring, all right up in the view of the glass, so you don't have to be distracted when you're pushing the car hard. If you are ever in a situation where, you know, you are needing some emergency assistance, you are also set up with Volkswagen's CarNet in this vehicle, which will have an SOS button. So if something does get hairy, you know you have help at your fingertips, and you know, first responders will be able to get to you and know where you're at as quick as possible. So this has been Alex Strid with South Centre Volkswagen, South Calgary's exclusive Volkswagen dealership. This guy here is sold, but we are accepting pre-orders. Please give us a call at 403-255-6681 or visit us at Deerfoot and Douglasdale Boulevard Southeast and talk to one of our sales consultants. They'd be happy to tell you about our availability and put an order in for you.